93.3 KZOZ-FM San Luis Obispo. The home of Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
They have no chemistry at all.
Here we go with Dumbass of the Day, brought to you by Peterson's U-Card. They've got their big spring sale going on right now. You can save 10% on walk-on bark. Plus, free delivery in Atascadero. They're on Augusta Road in A-Town. Stop by and see them or check them out online. Do a little homework, a little renaissance? No.
Recognizance.
Oh, my God, not renaissance.
A little renaissance.
A little recon. Let's just go with the abbreviated version of it, right? Go to Peterson, the letter U, cart.com.
How pathetic can some people be?
Law and Order is the same episode every single time. Like, the same thing happens on every Law and Order, to the point that, like, you see the same types of characters on every Law and Order, you know? Like, the same types of people they bust out. Some of my personal favorites that they have, there is a guy who, while being questioned by homicide detectives, will not stop unloading crates. Oh, doesn't matter to this guy. Double rape and murder? He's got to unload that van. Other favorites that they have on the show, there is a judge who allows everything. I'll allow it. But watch yourself, McCoy. She doesn't care what he wants. She will allow it. Judges on that show always seem so bored. They're like, what is it now, counselor? How about a murder trial? Is that not enough for you?
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Oh, my gosh. I swear law enforcement loves it when these stories get out. I'm going to help them out a little bit this morning. This is, like, the days of being a outlaw, a criminal, have to be numbered, okay? German police have solved a 9-year-old burglary in which they at the scene of the burglary, okay, 9 years ago, they found a half-eaten piece of sausage. They tucked it away.
Yes, DNA!
They tucked it away as evidence.
I would have got away with it, too, if it wasn't for that damn sausage.
Recently, they arrested a man in France over an unrelated crime because that was 9 years ago, in which there were like 5 houses or something like that were broken into in Germany. The investigators, when he did whatever crime he did in France, were alerted that they took a matching DNA sample from the man involved in a violent crime in France, and they're like, wait a minute, that's the same DNA that's on the sausage in Germany.
Nailed it.
This happened in 2012, okay? Albanian dude. They recovered a piece of sausage that he had bitten into, and it had his DNA on it. He broke into 5 homes in the area, taking jewelry, sports bag, and vehicle registration papers. Now, the thing is, because what he did in France was far worse than what he did in Germany 9 years ago, he's not going to be extradited to face those charges because of the statute of limitations.
Sure.
But for the Germans, it's nice because they could close the book on these cases, on these 5 burglaries that they never found a suspect for until he committed a crime in France, and they had to take his DNA sample. DNA is sticky.
It's going to kill Dateline. I'm telling you.
God.
2020, 48 hours.
Yeah, there's not going to be any mystery anymore. They'll be like, hey, spit into this tube, run a database, and they're like, oh yeah, you were in Sacramento the other day, weren't you?
I love it when they follow somebody, and they'll get the straw of the glass they were drinking on, or a cigarette butt they threw out, because they needed to get their DNA to find out if they matched a profile. And now with the sequence DNA and all that stuff, where they found that one California rapist, whatever he was. Mm-hmm. What was he, about 80 years old? He looked like he was about ready to go to the nursing home, or they pulled him out of one, but they still got him. But here's the problem, and the good news for Dateline and 48 and 2020, a lot of dumb people out there, a lot of dumbasses. Good thing for this segment, too, because if there wasn't a lot of dumbasses, we wouldn't be able to do this segment. And Peterson U-Card wouldn't be able to tell you what a great deal you can get right now on Walk on Park. But there's a lot of dumbasses.
Do you think
out there.
burglars are going to start wearing masks like this?
I think they do. That's the funniest thing, I think, since the pandemic started, and we've overlooked it. If you would have walked in with that mask onto a bank,
Oh, I know.
or anywhere, a year, 2 years ago, you would have been taken down to the ground. The
Is
cops would
law
have been called.
enforcement across this globe telling Fauci to shut up when he says, "Hey, maybe you should wear 2 or 3 masks"?
No, wear them all over your face.
Because
Is anybody
they're
wore
like,
the-
dude, we gotta get the DNA, man.
What about those hoods, Remember those? It was like a ski mask? Is anybody wearing the ski mask around instead of just the regular paper mask?
No, because the ski mask has a hole for the mouth.
Well, get one without the hole.
Yeah, that's true.
Go get a big beanie and cut the eyes out and walk
Well,
around.
when you're asking people for money, it sounds like this.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well sound travels through these things.
Ask me for money.
Doesn't
Yeah. It still works.
work, does it?
Yeah. Give me all your money or I'll shoot you. Yeah.
Never eat half-eaten sausage behind at the scene of a crime. Come
if
on,
he just wouldn't have,
you idiot.
This would have been a little bit more of a fatty and just ate the whole sausage.
Like, who eats half of it and be like, it's not very good.
Maybe that was going to be
Throw it
his
away
plan.
or
He
something.
wanted a cool nickname, like, the half-eaten sausage bandit.
Like the water bandits on Home Alone.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations, dude. Your hunger 9 years ago has landed you in the pokey. You're Jeff and Jeremy's.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Don't be a dummy when it comes to your landscape supplies. Go to Peterson U-Card on Gusta Road, just north of Quickie Car Wash in Atascadero.
We love U-Card. You stay.
Jeff and Jeremy here online at KZOZ.com. We didn't make this person dumbass of the day, but we probably could have. But it's just such a good story that we can't let it pass. An Iowa City man pled guilty to using a recording device hidden in a pen to film another employee while she pumped her breast in a company conference room. Isn't that a thing now? You're supposed to have a designated area for women that are breastfeeding their babies.
You have to, and it can't be the bathroom.
Here's the full report on the story.
An Iowa City man was sentenced today for filming one of his employees while she pumped her breast milk. Robert Charles Carlson pleaded guilty to 9 counts of invasion of privacy. Prosecutors say he filmed the woman at work in a conference room using a recording device hidden in a pen. This happened more than 20 times. He will not go to prison, but must serve 2 years of supervised release and register as a sex offender.
What a weird fetish. What do you like to, what kind of gets you going? Watching somebody use a breast pump. Now, I've only seen one of these on an episode of The Office. I've never seen one in person because my wife and I didn't have kids. I'm sure you've seen one.
Oh, yeah.
And, obviously I think everybody knows what they are, right? I mean, it goes over there and then, it's really to provide some sort of release of tension, isn't it? Because when you're after you have a baby, don't they fill up no matter if you're breastfeeding or not?
You have to do it.
You have to, yeah. Otherwise it's painful, right? It can be painful.
Yeah, and it can. In fact, it's not good.
So you gotta do it. Is this more weird than the person that puts the cameras inside the toilet? There's so many weirdos out there. You know I'm talking to you too, you weirdos. Wherever you are, listening to this right now, going, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. That's my favorite.
More importantly, this dude is like, and not more importantly, just very importantly. Okay, this happened, 3 years ago now. And he finally pled guilty. He did it 22 times. 22 times. That is a problem.
Well, that's what he likes. I don't know what you like. What's your favorite snack?
Potato chips. I've eaten them 22 times.
More than that, 2,200 times. This guy would probably rather do this than eat potato chips.
Did he? 2 years of supervised release and a registered sex offender, but he owns an architecture firm in which his name is on it. It's the Carlson Design Team. Okay, now if you have to get anything done, any work done, this hits the news rolls in Iowa City, Iowa, which I'm guessing is not that big of a town. Are you going to be calling up the Carlson Design Team to work on your project? knowing that this pervy's the registered sex offender is gonna come and have to mock up your paperwork. I mean, he ruined his business. His perversion.
He's probably very embarrassed.
Ruined. Yeah, I'm looking at his mugshot.
He's probably very embarrassed.
I mean,
I'm trying to think. When I read this story, I was thinking, like, God, I don't do anything that weird. What's the most weird, embarrassing thing that I do? And
I know what it is. I saw you doing it yesterday. It was driving me nuts while we were playing Been There, Done That. And you were sitting there taking a wine. What is it? A wine tool? What is it called?
Oh, wine key.
Wine key.
Yeah, it's got the knife and the. Oh, cleaning my fingernails.
And you were going around and scraping stuff from back behind your fingernails with it.
Well, because that's got a little knife on there. Here, I'll do it again. See, they're clean though because I got them all cleaned yesterday. You never do that?
Can't you use? I do it with another fingernail. I take another fingernail and I use it and I scrape it.
Really, that's the weirdest thing about me. Really, that's not so bad.
Well, the fact that you have to do it in front of other people.
You're not other people. I've been sitting in a room with you for over 20 years.
I think this this plexiglass gives a false sense of security, as if you're driving a car and you can pick your nose
But I'm not picking my nose.
Do whatever you want to do.
I probably have picked my nose in front of you. I've seen you pick your nose.
I realized the other day, I know a mom. Her daughter goes to school with my daughter, and after.
Oh, is this from the mom group?
No, it's just from school. And she pulled alongside of me at a light, and I was picking my nose. Oh. And I realized it was her, and I continued to pick my nose.
Really? I got to be honest. Since this guy's the weirdest creep we've ever heard of, videotaping women with a hidden camera pin as they breast pump in the break room or wherever.
Mm-hmm. Not cool, dude. Not cool.
If I have something dry in there and I can feel it, I want to pick it out when I'm driving by myself. I will do it. But if somebody's coming towards me the other way, I will pull my finger down because I don't want to be seen, even though they're in another car going the other way.
See,
they
I'm
don't
different.
know me.
I can know people like right next to me and be like, oh yeah.
This reminds me of the Seinfeld when he was scratching his nose and the hot girl pulled up next to him and then she wouldn't call him because she thought he picked his nose. He's like, I was a scratch. My wife will catch me because just like you, my wife, I've known you guys too long. I don't care. And she'll be like, oh my God, I'm like, yes, people pick their nose. I know you do because I've seen you do it. She goes, oh, that's a dead piece of skin. I'm like, well, it's still picking.
There's nothing wrong with picking your nose. Maybe that should be the poll question today. Are you as embarrassed now as you were 20 years ago when you get caught picking your nose?
The older you get, you just don't care. And then you hear about creeps like this out there videotaping women breast pumping themselves. Congratulations, dude. You creep, you weirdo. In, where the hell are you? Iowa City. Mr., what'd you say, architect? Thanks for making us all feel normal, you creep.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here. So, I don't know the colors all that well. I know that we were in purple and that was the worst. Now we're in red, which is a little bit better. This is kind of like, there's 4 different stages of colors. There's 2 that get better. We want to go to the orange next. That's moderate. And then yellow is minimal. Mm-hmm. No green. Come on, man. How do you not have green in there? Green means good. Go.
Green is just like regular. Like once there is no tier, that's as good as green. Mm-hmm. Everybody's thinking, okay, the economy's going to start getting rolling. We've changed the way we spend money as a result of the past year. This is according to a new survey. 58% of people say that their going out budget has been reallocated to their staying in budget. In fact, people have become more comfortable hanging out at their house. 41% of people say that they now take that budget that they had allocated towards going out to
meals and
doing stuff at their house. Groceries and having gatherings at their house.
Which is how
smaller gatherings.
It's supposed to spread, so it worked out real good, didn't it? Nice job.
How it spreads? What do you mean?
Well, because it's everybody coming over to your house is how they think.
It's not everybody. I mean, it's like if you have like 5-6 people.
That's what made it spread so fast, because you couldn't go out and socialize. So everybody was inviting people over. One person would be in contact with somebody else that had it. They'd spread it to everybody.
the reason why there might not be rapid stimulus into the economy is that 2 out of 5, that's 40%, if you're keeping track at home, have faced a significant financial setback in 2020. Yeah. So they are going to need to recoup and get back on track. And 3/4 of those people say that they need to reevaluate their long-term budgets as a result of the past year.
Yeah, I'm not a scientist. I try to follow the science, as they say. I try to follow the news. I try to do my own because the mainstream media, I feel like, just isn't giving us exactly what we need to know.
Bit of an agenda.
So, but, the one thing I think we need to focus on, regardless of how it spreads, it at this point, doesn't matter. No, these people, their lives have been, turned upside down, whether they've lost family members to this, or they've gotten sick, or they've lost their jobs, or financially they still have jobs, but it's been tough. And that is to if you can, especially since we're getting stimulus checks now, some of us anyways, to get out there and maybe do a staycation this year, or do a local U.S. vacation, or try to do some going out if you can. I mean, that's kind of what my wife and I have talked about. Like, we want to try to keep the money in our neighborhood or our area. Tried to go to Paso. They wouldn't take our money, so we had to go to Sloan.
Well, there are plenty of money.
We had to make a reservation.
Money from people that are better to do with their financial situation.
What?
They have money coming in from people that will spend more money than you guys will.
You don't know what we're going to spend.
No, I don't, but I'm just saying.
You're probably right. But
these people make a trip from Los Angeles to San Francisco to come here for the weekend and drink grape juice. I mean, come on. Money's no object.
Are people traveling here from the big cities right now?
Money to burn.
They haven't even.
They have been the entire time.
Oh.
I mean, hell, ask Orange County what their favorite destination has been during the pandemic.
Well, my point is, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to say.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to state facts. Facts first.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to. Do you agree that maybe this year, if you're gonna do something, maybe try to do it regionally, locally?
Oh yeah,
to your area.
Believe me,
to help the local businesses.
I'm banging that drum all the time because my wife wants to take like 5 trips because we haven't been able to take trips.
You're banging the drum on how much money can I save? Well, I gotta landscape
cheaper.
The backyard.
Okay, if you're one of the 3/4 that are reevaluating your long-term budgets, then it's cheaper to spend money around here, and it's going to stimulate your economy. Stimulate your economy first, not Florida or Texas.
You've done this, right? I mean, I guess we both have staycation, like where you actually go to a local motel, a local resort, whatever, and you stay.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was before we, were doing staycations due to the pandemic. But people were doing them. Why would we doing staycations like 5 years ago? Was it the economy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gas prices?
Yes.
That was the big one. Before
creeping back up, kids.
Yeah. Well, there's been another change. And before the last change, if you remember, gas prices were so bad, people were literally just vacationing in their backyard.
Yep.
Yeah. And now another change has happened. So
we're returning to that.
But it's good, though. You really should. I mean,
good
if you
news
can,
abound, right?
Anything you can do. I mean, right? I mean, I've just, but I was so impressed with Paso Robles. I keep coming back to it. I was so impressed with what I saw when I was there. I guess I just felt like, wow, you can't be accommodating to if you didn't make a reservation at 4:30 on a Friday.
Was it a Friday or Saturday?
It was a Friday.
Oh,
no, it was a Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday. 4:30.
Saturday's a tough day. Saturday's a tough day for Paso Robles.
Sorry.
It's tough to get a...
Okay.
Like, people are eating dinner like at 9:30 at night because that's the only time that they could get a reservation in Paso Robles.
No, that's...
And, I mean, you're talking about a town that is nothing but restaurants, but it's just the way it is.
There's so many
wineries. People got to come there. They got to eat. And then if there's as many restaurants as wineries, you wouldn't have a problem. But there's not as many. There can never be as many restaurants as wineries. Got to make your reservations, bro.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.